Well, here we are. It must be Thursday night at 7 p.m. We are live with John McCaig, or Jack as his friends know him, leader of Liberty Aid Academy and all things good with trusts, the only trust that matters, and with proof. So how are we doing today, Jack?
I'm doing good. Tim Judge in the house, great co-host and realtor, father, husband, etc., etc. He's got a long list over
Et
there.
cetera, a lot of et ceteras.
He does.
And we got people piling in the room already. Alex is here. Jay's made it early, which is exciting. Salon for Natural Hair is here. That's a new one. I haven't seen that one before. Welcome. And Frank's Upholstery Shop. Greetings. Any big announcements before we dive deep into the questions? Everybody's going to be here. Ask Me Anything is the name of the show. So I'm sure if it hasn't been answered in the classroom, Jack will have at it right here. But any announcements, anything in particular you want to say?
I feel like the announcement I should be given every week is like, I'm still here. You know what I'm saying? Like, so many weeks in a row, so many live events. But what about the lawyers? What about the government? What about? I'm here every week without any problems ever. Like, so all the questions are a lot of them are focused on, but what about this? You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and ask. But no, this always works. Now it works 100% for 100% of the people in America and Canada. These methods. What? It's not like Harvard. Even if you get in there, right? You got to go through a whole process just to get in the place. But if you get in there, then it's like, well, maybe, we're not making any promises over here. Thanks for the money. But yeah, no promises. Like, our stuff works for everyone that becomes a student. I'm just saying, like, I'm still here, no problems. And this works for 100% of the people now, not just in America and Canada. What? That feels like an announcement to me. So I'm going to go with that one tonight.
I forgot to mention in our pre-show chat, I am going to have lunch with a fellow member this weekend and his brother, I hope, and in the Bronx or in Queens, and we're gonna chat it up. He watches the show regularly, and reached out and said we're nearly neighbors, so we're gonna meet up and chat about the trust and all that kind of stuff. So it's exciting. My second Scott, did fly through New York and see me once. Otherwise, we're online friends. And then now we got another meetup happening. So it's fun amazing. Times.
That is great. It's so cool. Like I say it a lot, but we're like in our own little foxholes here, and then we're like, are you? Wait a second, you're only.
Well, it's when you hear people speaking a different language, and you're like, "Ooh, I wish I learned that in high school and all that kind of." We speak a language that most people don't know, and so when you can go out and have lunch and talk about all the things you can do and that should be done with the trust, it's very comforting to sit around with people like that. So I'm looking forward to a good lunch.
We should have a secret handshake or something. This is getting out of hand now. You know what I'm saying? They'd all learn the secret handshake, so we couldn't do that. But it'd be more for fun. Maybe a hug is a secret handshake. I don't know. Like, what? Are you a human? What? It's so great. It's really fun to talk about the truth. You're like, this is true, and then you get into other stuff. It's a great time. The church that I have, Jesus Christ Trust on that. J Fox in the foxhole, But the church I have is having a gathering May 3rd through the 10th in Sarasota, because same thing you're bringing up. It's like getting together with people. It's like really fascinating to hear hey, you did what? What have you been up to? You know what I mean? And just exchange that information. talk about your lives. Say, oh, I see how that worked. Very fun, very interesting, and super intelligent people doing this work. And very caring.
I heard that rumor that you were going to do that, and I was thinking about getting there, but the powers that be here, I'm in a no-fly zone, and on that day I have to be around.
Right. I think that's been a common theme here
Yeah,
in Florida, where things fly, and then it's a no-fly zone. It's like things are flying 120 miles an hour down there. Where that's a no-fly zone. No, but they're not doing it today. No, it remains no-fly zone because they did that there. No, no, I know I hear a lot of that actually at my place. And so that's a Florida theme for sure.
well, I'm sure you guys will have a great time. We can mention that now, and then we'll have another show before that even happens, right?
Yes.
Well, your kickoff your kickoff event can be part of the live show next Thursday night.
Yeah, this solution we're talking about tonight, everyone, is Christian loophole, so it's tied to this church, and that makes the government and the banks and all them people accept this method. So that's why it's a thing here.
Yes.
They go hand in hand. So no, everything is
It's approved by most Fortune 500 banks for use. So if you're looking for proof, there it is right there. If you can open a bank account when you give them this trust and they say, sure, we'll take your money, that means the trust is good.
the bankers, they run everything. Yes, it's fine in the bank. It's like, yeah, but what about lawyers? Like, who do you think works at those banks? All the
They got a
lawyers,
legal
all
team,
them.
don't they?
Yeah.
Yep.
No, it's been great that after this many years, honestly, the only thing that's happened of my copyrighted work is we spawned so many, thieves and assailants on people's finances that are, didn't do this work, don't have a clue about it, nothing like that. And so what is it? Plagiarism is highest form of praise, something like that. Anyway,
Imitation is the highest form of flattery, my mother used
yeah,
to say.
thank you very much. But yeah, no, it's and they're just screwing over people, but we're not having any problems at all ever. You know what I'm saying? Like the more people come, the more people that are students, the more everything is just fine with everyone. Their bank accounts, their assets, their homes, their anything they have that's in the trust. There's never anything. There's just nothing.
Yep.
All quiet on all fronts all the time. Just can't even hear a cricket. It's just nothing, because this is what the wealthy elite do. So
Yep.
it's like, yeah, but what if they close the loop? I'm like, no, this is the system that you just don't know about, that the wealthy are using to move all their money all the time and own everything and all that stuff. So yeah, no problems is really kind of like my message of the night is there's no problems. Like the IRS says it's good. We follow the code. This trust has 501c3 status with 6033. Going along with it, the code IRS code means it doesn't report as well. So non-filing 501c3 status.
So, Salon for Natural Hair asking, is the 508c1a separate from the private common law ecclesiastical irrevocable trust? People say it's easier to open a bank account with the 508. However, trying to open a bank account using a trust.
Good question. A lot of people have this kind of mixed up because it's code and it's government and blah blah blah. But let me unwrangle that little spaghetti ball for you. The trust has 501. This trust, this one, only this one, no other one. No other trusts have 501c3 status, but this trust, this is the only one. Unless you're a church, which this is a school, it's not a church. You know what I mean? It can be a church, it doesn't have to be. So yeah, it has The code that allows for 501c3 status is 508c1a, but this is the only trust ever created. No other trust has ever used the part of the code in the IRS code 508c1a that says convention. This you can sign up directly with God. I got sunset happening here. Hi. But no, you can sign up directly with God. That's the loophole. Hey, let me sign with Jesus Christ instead of we, whoever that is, right? You got we trust.
Mm-hmm.
That's where everyone signed up with that. So it's like, no, let me try that. You can do it with we. So let me see if with Jesus Christ works. It works. The banks, the governments, counties, state, federal, the lawyers, everyone accepts it. Everyone uses it. All the different states, all the different individuals using this now after a decade or whatever. No problems whatsoever. So the trust, which you name private common law, ecclesiastical, irrevocable trust, it has from the IRS 501c3 status. So yeah, the trust stands alone as that type of trust, and then the IRS adds the status to it. You see what I'm saying? So it doesn't have 508c1a. It has 501c3 status, and the code that allows for that status is 508c1a. So I hope that unravel that. So it's just this trust has that status. That's it.
Yeah, I think the second part of her question was, however, trying to open a bank account using a trust was difficult. Um,
No.
you just have to keep trying different banks. I did go through that myself. I went to I think I got to my third bank and they said sure, and that was open. And then I opened, that was my local bank, and then I opened a Charles Schwab account. So I have two accounts open. It can be done, and you just got to keep trying because it confuses people. And when and when I opened up the second trust, that I got a new manager, and I think I told the story that they came from a different bank and they said, "Oh, you can't do it. You can't do this way." And I said, "Sure, I can. I already have a trust like this." And so she was confused and called another branch and said, "Oh, I guess we can." And I said, "Sure.
Yeah.
Congratulations. We just had an educational experience."
And that's I like to say this after you tell that story because it's a good story and it's true. I've never had that situation myself, but other people I hear have. And so usually, as this story we just heard is down to sort of the expertise in the branch. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And so that's why I say, well, try another branch or something. Like I didn't get Bank of America, I didn't get Chase, I didn't get Wells Fargo, I did, you know what I mean? If
Yeah.
whatever bank had that experience, I would go get one or two banks, open up an account. Okay, it worked. Then if that was the one you went to early on and they didn't give it to you because it's convenient for whatever reason to you, go back and
Mhm.
try again, but not the same branch, right? Try another branch. Like, hey, do y'all open trust accounts there, or do you have another branch? You know what I mean? That usually does trust, and that I've done before. And be like, oh, you want to go over to this branch and talk to them? It's like, okay, what's the number? You just call. Oh, hey, I want to open a trust. They're like, okay, what time? How about 1 o'clock? On blah. And you just set up an appointment. And that's it. So. It's fine to try without that phone call and stuff like that. There's usually not a problem, but if there is, that's the way to like double back around and regroup and get it that way. So,
I like this one, Jay. Simple as a pimple.
yeah.
So if the trust is John McCaig, will it be my trust? It's
Yeah.
and they-
Let's answer that. So this is a private trust, meaning you create it yourself. I'm not on it. Tim's not on it. No one else is on it. You're on it. And so, really, what I recommend the first trust be your first name, your legal, right? First name, last name, trust. Look, I have ID. That's me. You see, haha. So you now this ID, this person. Let's get it working in our favor. You see what I'm saying?
yeah.
Okay, I got ID. Trust. John McCaig, trust. Here, Bob. Here's my ID. Here's my paperwork. And they're like, oh yeah, come on in, whatever. It just, and anytime you want to do any kind of business or anything, any application you would fill out, like for payment gateway like Stripe or PayPal, Shopify or whatever business, anything, not just bank accounts, but anything, Schwab account, anything. They'll be like, "Oh, do you have ID?" You just show them the ID. It's like first name, last name, trust. They're like, "Okay." It's so easy. And so you can do any business operations through that trust very easily to whatever it may be, things that require a license, say your person name, there's a trust. It's very simple that way. So yeah, I'm not involved in it other than the paperwork. This is how it works. And then you fill in first and last name, trust, and your address. That's pretty much the only blanks in there. And you put that in there and get your EIN. We teach you every step of that with photo. Every little thing is taught. And then you go down to the bank and you're like, this thing works. Look at my debit card. Yeah. It's fun. And then you got a salon or whatever. Let's I don't know that you do, but let's just go off your name. And so nothing happens at your salon as far as your business or anything. Nothing happens there, except for you change your bank account from LLC, your person, whatever, over to a trust. And then, how do I get paid? I don't know, PayPal, Stripe, Square, something like that, right? That goes in the name of the trust too. So, and that's it. You can bank the same bank you're banking at right now. So it's just a trust account. Let's see, we got one over here. I miss this King. Hope you go well, Jack. That's nice on Instagram. Thank you. I hope you're well too, John Gregory. Yeah, it's very easy because see, this is a structural solution. It's not like, oh yeah, but you did this thing, you know what I mean? You bought a car, you drove too many miles, you capital gains, but all those rules are for other things like an LLC, C Corp, something like that. This is just if you open up the trust account and your payment gateways with the trust and money goes in and out of there. That's the only thing. No paying the IRS and no reporting the IRS. So it's a structural solution. Just that's the structure. Money goes in and out. The IRS is out of your world forever.
There you go.
Yeah. Thanks for your questions. If you have any more, let me know. I mean, for business is hard enough. How do you get someone money? You're lucky I'm doing business in the US. What? Come on. So no, it's great. They're doing this, right? How they get such an edge? Well, they don't pay the IRS, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So they make it look easy.
I put up the little reminder there. Please like, share, and subscribe. So anybody that's watching, we're 20 minutes into the show. If we can get some more people in here, that'd be great. And of course, you can ask your questions. Jack's here to answer them live. Can you tell us a little bit about what you're working on with the students that have subscribed to the YouTube channel? You have this YouTube Liberty Aid Academy membership program. Yeah. And that's $99 a month, and you meet live at the end of the month, which is Monday coming up, right?
It is last Monday of the month. And I put out some videos during the month, usually as well, but now there's this backlog of great videos that I made, not like this one I'm making right now, more like the courses, but even more super specific. It was video after video. Like one of the main parts is building trust. I'm sorry, not building trust, building credit for a trust. And the basics, all the basics are explained in our courses how to do that, but then it's like really specific what to do. I got a couple questions here before they go off the screen. No, I'll get back to that. Sure. Dance Fine Art. Hi, John. Where do we ask questions? YouTube. You can ask questions here. And as far as where you ask questions as a student, you know what I mean? Like in the classroom's best. I'm a moderator in there. We got a private forum. So I think this is Maryland. Dance Fine Art. So Maryland, you should get in there. It's part of you being a student, and it's free. So you just log in. If you have questions about, how do I do that? Or if you just have a question, contact@libertyaidacademy.org, our email, right? If it's something that Tammy needs to escalate, she'll send it on to me. I don't know how to get in the classroom. Email us. We'll get you in there, okay? So, but that's how how it works, Marilyn. Ask any question there. But right now, you can ask in YouTube. You can ask here for this show. And I got another one, John Gregory. You won't divert you from your topic, but over the years, Jack helped me with a few topics, and I have friends who have used the services successfully. Thanks for that testimonial there, John. Yeah, wonderful, wonderful. This works. This stuff works for 100% of the people. It's not like I didn't get any support. Where did they go? You know what I mean? Internet, nothing. No, I've been 15 years now. Hi, I'm live every week. It's the same thing. Everything's fine. No one's having any problems. It all starts with the trust, and we have so much other great information after that, you know.
We've got another new one here. Power Win Skills asking, why do they say if a trust is irrevocable, you can't be trustee?
Mainly to steer you away from the truth. I mean, honestly, that's what it is. Because I'll explain irrevocable or revocable, and once you understand, you're like, oh man, they're scamming us. They're always scamming us. You know what I'm saying? Hate to say that, but they push this on the internet, so it's a lie. That's the basic answer, It's Orwellian, 1984ville. We live in here, that's the reason. But okay, what does revocable mean or irrevocable? A relationship to a trust? That's the real question, right? Let's answer it. It has to do with because we're talking about IRS status. Yes, that's what we're talking about. Oh, does this have 501c3 status? Yeah. Oh, okay. So then I don't report it. So, oh, okay, great. So, but only for an irrevocable trust. And this is why. Revocable means, okay, I'm going to move, say, my cash from a bank account from an LLC to a trust. Oh, okay. I'm going to move my title of my car, right, from a person to a trust. Oh, okay. I'm going to move the deed. A house is on a deed. I'm going to move the deed from in my person to in my trust. Okay. That's the movement of assets I just described. That's what the IRS cares about. Yes. And so they make rules about it. That's what the rules have to do with irrevocable or revocable. Revocable means, oh yeah, you moved your cash from your bank account from your LLC to your trust. Oh, and it's revocable. Revoke means you can revoke the movement back to the LLC or your person or wherever it came from. Oh, okay. So the IRS says, well, the movement to the trust, we don't see that as valid, you see, because you're saying you can revoke the movement of those assets backwards to a taxable corporation type, which you would never want to do. Why would you want? The whole point is to move them forward to a non-taxable, non-reporting entity. So you would never want to revoke the movement of assets backwards. Never. And yet that's the only type of trust a lawyer's allowed to give out. They're licensed. They're only giving out revocable trust. Same with the CPA. They're only giving out revocable trust because they don't explain that. They're like, you don't want it to be irrevocable, do you? And you're like, I don't know. I guess not. Huh? Like, you don't know what it means. You know what I mean? Like, it's horrible. But so irrevocable means, no, I'm going to move the assets to the trust with 501c3 status. It doesn't report. I'm not going to move them back. I'm not an idiot. You know what I mean? That's what it means. It doesn't have another meaning. This is talking about 501c3 status and the movement of assets. Are you revoking or is it, oh, no, moving back to my taxable thing? What? No one in their right mind would do it, but people are concerned. Irrevocable. That's like forever. Forever what? Yeah, forever move your assets out of getting taxed. I want that to be forever. That's all that it means. You see.
Frank says they get scared. It's eerie, irrevocable.
That's so it. That's a haunted house. Don't go in there. I've seen that in the movies. There's going to be somebody right behind you. No, don't go in. There's Jason. I told you. He's right behind you. He's got this mask. I told you he's right behind you. No, this is not a horror movie. You know what I mean? This is 50 years of proof. The wealthy elite do this. It's no problem whatsoever.
There's Scott says, hi, Jack and Tim. Welcome, welcome. Here we have another question. Powers back. How to apply for health insurance?
Okay, good question. It depends on where you are, right? But this is how you do it basically. Open up the trust, okay, moved all the money in there, you got your debit card, everything's cool, first and last name trust. You don't have any personal anything. I'll have the car no more, it's in the trust, yay. I'll have a home no more, it's in the trust, yeah. So what? You, i.e., your corporate person, right? Doesn't have anything. Doesn't have anything. You see what I'm saying? So it qualifies for all government subsidies for everything. Not paying your student loans, for example. I got a letter today for it said, "Hey, all the rules changed with student loans, and your new payment is in your email. Check it out." It's like your new payment is zero. It's like, yeah, sweet. You know what I mean? Because your person, it doesn't have anything. You see what I'm saying? Doesn't have any income, doesn't have any revenue, no assets, no bank account, nada. It's homeless. It has nothing. Yes. So you see, it always qualifies for whatever discounts there are out there. You see, so if you're in a state with Medicaid, you just like, oh yeah, let me apply, blah 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 blah. You just apply, free health insurance. Thanks. That's how you do it generally. We of course should go over the details of it, but I'm just saying that's generally how you do it. And then all those hacks apply to all other government programs that your person that doesn't have anything qualifies for it. You got FHA. What do you got out there? You know what I'm saying? Everything. Give me everything you got out there. You got to be a VA. You got what kind of age you got out there? So no, good question. Good question. Thank you.
You got anything on Instagram or?
I do, but it can wait. It can wait. We got another. It's a funny one, so
Okay.
I'll hold on to. I'll do you, John Gregory. I'll do you the second. No. He has two good ones. Well, what is this? What is this?
This one is Bob Patterson. Pass a property in foreclosure into your trust, changing jurisdiction from public to chancellery court, and here the bank will drop the case.
That is an item that wouldn't hurt your situation, but I have been deep in this subject for a really long time, actually. And there's more powerful methods. For courts are fake, laws are fake. They don't follow them. We're slaves. The bank never signs the document. You have to accept your slavery for real, and then you actually need God's help, and that's where the spiritual compact, the side of it, actually, Bob, is the final solution with them. Actually, uh, generally, the reason why it is every knee must bow, every tongue confess. So who's this dude? You know what I mean? The Bible. That's quite a book. Okay. And so you sign up with this, you're like, whoa, Lamb of God, what the? No one knows what that means, but I decoded it. So the Old Testament, right? Passover, blood on your door, go and eat the lamb, and the God of this world, the devil, we will pass over you. You see what I'm saying? Jesus came along and said, I'm the Lamb of God. Doesn't say what it means, but it means basically you put the name of God on your door and they can't cross over. So there's a lot of information on that technology that comes with your coursework and so on. So I find that has been more of a solution combined with like camera technology, like trail camera animal, like catching animals and stuff. Like you'll be waiting to get video. You see what I'm saying? Because all we need is some video of them getting frozen in place by the name of God, and game over. So they don't actually show up for that reason. You follow me?
Mm-hmm.
Now I've been in this area of technology a long time. Tim has too. Oh my God. So that's a good point that you have, but they just ramrod through the old paperwork through the system instead of even looking at a chancery option. They just pretend it's not there. and they're just like, go take the house. So no, we need God to help, actually. So, but that is a good point that you brought up. So I'm glad we had a minute to talk about it. As just a good segue into the Instagram stuff. Is ask Jack anything. You had to say that. Here we go. Now we're in the second half, round 2. Okay. Who killed Kennedy? Kennedy was never killed. No, Kennedy never died. In fact, Kennedy never lived. Yeah, check out my work over at JesusChristTrust.net. No one else has said this and decoded this out of our reality, but you will find this is everywhere. And that is time before 1969 has never happened. We're in a loop. So no one killed Kennedy. That's all what we call verisimilitude, the appearance of reality without it being real. So good question. It's like you're feeding me softballs over here. You know me over here, John Gregory. But here's the number 2. Here's the number 2 he sends me is tell us about the ego we trust. So I'm like, oh, that's a good one. So that's a good question too. You know what I mean? See, when you start studying trust, which I was doing at the time, I'm like, there's certain rules that all 50 states have for naming a trust, and it's like, or a bank. Actually, there are 2 words that are very important to the make creation of a corporation name that they have at Secretary of State. All 50 states, you go look it up. If you use the word bank in the name of your business, you have to be a bank. The bankers run everything. You see what I'm saying? No, you can't be a bank. You know, that's number 1 rule. Number 2 rule is unlike an LLC, okay? Like you start an LLC, say John McCaig LLC. If I started the John McCaig LLC in public, I don't have to use the words LLC. It could just be like John McCaig. You don't have to use the words LLC. You follow me? In public marketing, nothing. You don't. Some people do, but you don't have to. But a trust, you would have to say like John McCaig Trust. You can't in any public information, anything like that. It's a trust if the final word is the word trust. So you know, oh, that's a trust. And you can't be using other language like that where the last word is trust because in advertising, because people become confused and think it's a trust. You see, very specific marketing and corporation naming rules all throughout the United States. So, as studying trust and all that, what I was doing, and I'm looking on the dollar bill. I'm like, you got we trust. I'm like, oh, you sneaky little or big or whatever you are over there, like you sneaky. Oh, what a scam! They were running a scam. You got we trust. This is trust. You see? Oh, what? So I was like, we is not Buddha. It's not Krishna. It's not Jesus. It's not that's not anybody you heard of. So you know who that is. You know what I mean? So like, okay. So what I did was I just started a trust. I'm like, oh, if you could do it, I could do it. I started a trust, put in God's name. Oh, Christian Ministries Trust. That was the first one I did. Went down to the bank, got my EIN, went down there. And literally, the devil met me there, offered me $485 million not to open it up. I'm like, okay, I totally did not think you were real. I see you got a lot of TV shows, and maybe I know you got a lot of PR, but it's valid. Okay, so I guess the other guy's real because you're here because I signed him up. I signed that up, and so the whole okay. So that is good to know. So the ego we trust, everyone's parents, got canoodled into, got the wool pulled over their eyes and got huckstered, got the, bait and switch, got, the great sales technique. Give us your baby, okay? Just can you mind signing your baby over to us? It's like, I kind of actually would mind if I knew I was signing a baby up for the devil. I wouldn't have done that, you see. But that has happened for pretty much everyone. So this is as an adult, you're 18, you're like, hey, wait, no, my parents did that to me. I'm getting out of the loophole. Boom. And so, yes, they use this method to run all, the whole slave plantation government bank and slavery thing on us. So they're using a trust to do it. Oh, okay. So I can use a trust to get out. Great. Oh, hey, it worked. So anyway, John Gregory, that's the answer. He follows it up with, "Are we living in a simulacrum, or whatever, a simulation?" Uh, and no, it's real. We're in a 64-year time loop. Only God would have the power to do that to anyone. So just once you find out reality, you're like, it's, if somebody comes by, hits my thumb with the hammer, even myself, doesn't feel real simulated to me, feels super real. You know what I'm saying? Ow! It's not a simulation. It just doesn't change. There's no change in it. All of this proves that God is real and so on. But no, it's not a simulation. It's absolutely as real as it gets. You're playing a game for yourself. So, good questions over there. I got one more. I have one other mail. Need to close out our old bank accounts. I wouldn't have old bank accounts. I wouldn't. Once you get your debit card working for your trust and stuff, I don't see a need to it. Maybe one, maybe, but no money in it or nothing like that. $20, $100. I You have personal credit cards, right? You can still have them. That's not revenue. That's not assets. So you can still be getting mail, from the bank, from credit cards and stuff like that. So I don't really see a need for personal bank accounts. I don't. You can deposit whatever, because first and last name trust. You see what I'm saying? They take first and last name checks. Boom, in. So no, I don't see. I don't see a reason to need that ultimately. Hey, the accounts all work, debit cards work. So no reason after that. Thanks, Marilyn, for that. One more. Can I start a trust as a disabled person? Yes, that's your person. Your corporate person is disabled, not you. And so yeah, so that's perfect. You can get all the other stuff too. Own nothing, control everything. Your trust is open, first and last name trust. Boom, stuff's in there. I don't have anything. Yay! So no, it doesn't mess at all. In fact, quite the opposite. Everything's out of your person's name, so your person qualifies for SSI. Not just you, John Gregory, but everyone. Yes. So yeah, no, it doesn't mess with that. It goes along with it. Good question. No problem. Sorry, Tim. I think that was we're gonna Instagram in the house tonight. What's up, Instagram?
There you go.
But I think we had another. There we go.
Yep, we got one from George. He says, "I've tried to find the definition of convention in the code pertaining to trusts, and I can't find it. I don't think there's a definition."
Yeah, in the code, that's true. Sometimes in like the IRS code and other legal documents, they don't define a very important term. They don't do it. In the USA, right? And so that's why you would go to like Black's Law Dictionary, where you could look at the definitions and you can see what applies. So yeah, that's true. And that's why when I go over this in detail, say in a trust crash course and people watch this stuff, I pull up the meaning, to be the definition from Black's Law of Convention, in which case they're, very clearly defines convention as a compact, 101. Like, that's the Faustian compact, you can sign your soul to the devil. Oh, yeah. Just your signature? Yeah, the devil no sign. Oh, okay. That's like a banker's thing. Yeah. So it's not actually real. You didn't the devil didn't sign, so there's no contract. You can get out of it with the devil. You see what I'm saying? And so you sign with Jesus Christ. Boom, that's it. And it's notarized, so it's witnessed, and it's good to go. So that's where you get the definition from over Black's Law, because that happens sometimes. The UCC and stuff like that. What do you get the definition? So generally, we're talking about legal terms in laws and stuff like that. That's where you generally go and see. Okay, look up for a backup definition of Black's Law like that. So
Jamie's in the house. Says hi,
right.
John and Tim.
Good to have you, Jamie. Thanks for the support. Canada in the house. The lady that broke Canada loose, Jamie Barr. What? Legend.
The master creator is here from YouTube. Why would I need my trust registered with the Secretary of Secretary of State? What purpose does it serve?
Good question. Really, only one. You don't have to do it. You don't have to register a trust to like get a bank account. Basically, do anything financially. You don't need it. Only one thing, and that's to build a credit profile for your trust. Oh, I want a credit card with my trust. Okay, I teach how to do that. One of the steps that you have to do is registration with Secretary of State. Why? Because the bank's like, oh, hey, they want recourse. Yeah, they're like, oh, you want to apply for credit with us? Let's go look you up. Where will we sue you? Who are you? You see what I'm saying? And so every other entity type you purchase from the Secretary of State, it's already registered there. You see what I'm saying? And so that's why a bank goes and looks you up. Oh, okay, that's your, uh, the name of your business of record, your address. That's a trustee. You know what I mean? All the details are there. So they're like, oh, okay, it matches your registration out there in public. Secretary of State matches your credit application and the other factors, whatever they may be. I teach them too. They go along. So yeah, we're going to give the credit. So that's the only reason, honestly, and you can see why it's necessary given that other entity types, you don't create it by yourself. You don't create an LLC. You make a purchase from Secretary of State, so it's already registered. So no other reason outside of that. You can use this trust without registration. You don't have to do that. Bank account and Schwab account and transactions, having a website, like everything else you can name. Yeah, no problem. No problem. Oh, real estate. Oh, at the DMV. Doesn't have to be registered for any of that kind of stuff. Okay. So, yeah, good question. Good question. Thanks. Thanks.
Yeah, that question for the master creator. Now, Felicia West in the house says if I have an LLC and you intend to flow your revenues through to the trust, can you use different EIN numbers, one for the LLC and one for the trust? If not, how's that handled?
That's a great question. So, you're simply not going to use your LLC anymore. And when you start the trust, it'll be first and last name trust, so your address. Okay, that's the trust document. Oh, yes, declaration of trust. Here's that. And then you would go, and we teach you how, right? You would go to the IRS, get an EIN, and that goes along with the trust. Okay. Those two documents allow you to go to the bank. Hey, I'm here. I want to open a trust account. And you just hand them that. They're like, hey, you're like fishing in your wallet because they're like, where's the ID? You're like, haha, I knew you're going to say that. And so here you go. And they're like, okay. And they click, clickety click 1 million times an hour later. You're like, okay, here's the $20. What can you automate anything? Fine, here. So, but no, that's it. And so you don't use your LLC anymore. It's just a piece of paper. You're like, hey, the trust works. It got connected, to the payment gateway. Everything's cool. Wow, we got a debit card. Let's do a second bank. Yes. Okay, that worked too. Hey, everything's cool. Then you simply close your personal accounts. You close your LLC accounts. You don't use them anymore. That's it. You're done with them. Totally a back end thing. Like your business, anybody's just like, okay, I'll pay you. Here's a credit card. They don't see anything on their end. They're just like, okay, I paid them. Done. You see? So it's just a back end thing. You get it done and that's it. No connection between an LLC, which is a taxable entity, no connection between that and the trust. No connection. If there's a connection, it'd be like that revocable, irrevocable thing. It's like, well, if you can revoke it back to the LLC, it's taxable. You see, so no, you don't want a connection between them. The trust is a structural solution. When it goes in and out, I'm a Christian. That's the loophole. Okay. Right? Acts 5 of the Bible. Got to give everything to God or you drop dead instantly. Right? Eternal life. You don't die. And so that's just a side thing. But that's what the Christians got to do. So it's a Christian loophole. It's a Christian country. There you go.
Master Creator back. I created a trust specifically to trade cryptocurrency. I don't think that's a business, right?
I don't. Let's not get into the definition of business, that could be what, almost anything, but you could absolutely have a cryptocurrency account at many different places, and many people have them at many places in the name of this trust, so you don't report to the IRS and don't pay the IRS. So the distinction between personal and business and all that stuff, I'm using that lingo, but that actually doesn't apply with this trust. It's just money goes in, money goes out. There's no this is business, this is personal. That's for taxable entity talk. So it doesn't really matter. Just don't do anything illegal with this trust and the money. That's all. Any other financial anything, yeah, it's not taxed and you don't report. So I hope that answers that, Master Korea. I think I hope I did. If I did, let me know.
Yeah,
Ask
I
me.
would just sorry. We got the last quarter going. We do have some questions here, and he's back with I'm a W-2 employee. Can I redo my W-4 and choose tax exempt and put in my EIN instead of social security number? I'm trying not to pay any tax.
No, that you can't do because it's not you're a W-2 employee. Your person is a W-2 employer. You're contracted through your corporate person, right? Your legal name, the social security 9-digit number, that's a corporation. Okay. So you're already and only a W-2 can only be used with a corporation type of a person. Can't be used with another corporation type like a LLC, a C Corp, a trust. Can't be used. There are no blanks on it to fill in anything else except for your person. So no, it cannot be used for that. Can it be used for a W-9, 1099? Yes. Yes, it can. Yes, it can. Yes, it can. And, I would still get the trust. I would still do all this stuff. I would still learn all this information. Open up your trust account because it can't take any money out of the trust. You see, it's not yours. And then I would, once you have this wisdom, then I would look for some other situation instead of a W-2 thing where, oh, okay, I could W-9, I could do this. I would, once you have the knowledge, then you could apply it and look for a different situation. But it has many benefits without, that particular one. But good question. Thank you for that, Master Creator.
George is chiming in. First of all, Federal Reserve notes are not taxable income. Only debt instruments that are publicly traded are taxable. And he goes on, there's an oral argument for the Supreme Court where this was discussed. It was between Justice Rehnquist and a guy named Mr. Jones.
Mr. Jones. Was that no, I'm just like, it's the guy from The Stand, Randall Flagg, Mr. Jones, the devil. You know what I mean? Like, hey, I talked to Mr. Jones today. It's like, yeah, that's funny.
Crypto Ken in the house tonight. Hi, I had Chase reject my trust, saying it needs to be a statutory trust, not, no worries, on to other banks and credit unions. Exactly right.
No, that's good. And like I said, I would double back around after
Yeah.
and go to another Chase branch after making a phone call. Be like, hey, what's the branch with the, in my city, my town? What's the one that you open up trust? Where's the expertise? What branch? I found, at Chase specifically, and that happened to Bank of America to me too. It's like, oh, go to this branch. Okay. So do that when you come back around since you had a problem. Okay. But I'm at Chase. I've been banking at Chase for years with these trusts. So I don't have a problem. Many other people don't, but I have heard this from whatever bank once in a while. And like we were talking about before, not always, but commonly, is because lack of expertise in that particular branch. Not always, but commonly.
Q in the house. When you set up an irrevocable trust, some people are saying you have to file a 1041 taxes. Some are saying you can get tax credits, but you're saying you don't have to file taxes. Please elaborate.
Yeah, this has 501c3 status and 6033 non-reporting status. Those are codes in the IRS code, which is just chapter 26 of the United States Code, right, which is a part of the corpus of the God we trust. So, the God we trust, it doesn't pay taxes. It doesn't report to who? Who would they? They don't report to me or you, or you see what I'm saying? So I was like, well, your trust doesn't report to anyone. So that's what I went and started. Oh, look, I got my offer from the devil now. You see, so you're operating at the same level that they're operating at, basically. And this is why all presidents are like, nah, I don't, my accountant says, can't show you my tax returns. Why? Because there aren't any. You see what I'm saying? So this is a loophole in 508 C1A code that allows you, it's for churches, like churches don't pay taxes, they don't report, right? Okay, this is in the same actual code area. And there's a comment that says convention. So it's like, oh, hey, I can sign up with God. Well, I can sign up with Jesus Christ, a Christian nation. So I can do that. And then, oh, I'm like a church, right? You don't need a religion to sign up through. You need a God. You see the saying? Like there's no religious body that you know of per se with the God we trust. But the God we is their God. The devil is their God. So you could do it individually. I started with God. Then you read about every movie, everything is like they individually sold their soul to the devil. You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
It's an individual thing you do individually. It's not like a church where it's this, this organization gets, tax exemption. You don't pay the IRS. You don't pay. Okay, that happens. But see, the same thing happens for the individual that can sign up. So that's why this is a Christian loophole. That's why it works for churches and also individuals that sign up with God individually. Why wouldn't it? It's the same guy, you see. So the same. They respect Christian churches. They give them taxes. So it's the same God. So you can just do it as an individual. Okay, I'm with God now. That's it. Okay, and they leave you alone. They respect it. Uh, how many years have I doing it? Every Thursday? Hi, no problem. Still, here I am again. Nothing on the ankles, nothing on the wrists. Hi. No problem. So I hope that explains it. Good question. Thank you.
Um, there's quite a thread going on inside the chat, so we'll get through this here. Um, Frank is saying this trust makes no income, only grants and donations. And then let me just go through these real quick. George says it was the United States versus Kraft, and then Frank, that's not true. Tim Judge works under his trust in the real estate industry. I do, and my broker donates to my trust. So it's not income for me; it's a donation to my trust, and that's how that works. And then they tried to give me, a 1099, and say that Tim Judge was paid, and I said no. Tim Judge did not get that check. It went to my trust. Um, Bob's in here with how to register a trust under the Hague for jurisdiction. Is that
Yeah,
right? Was
no,
that?
the Hague does it. God is a fertile R binder. You see, to say God decides who breathes and who doesn't. Like not the Hague. God runs everything. You sign up like that. So you don't need to do that. The only reason, like I was saying before, is to register a trust is to get credit. Okay, you do that at the state level in the USA. You register at the state, right? Because the LLC, C corp, they're already there. You purchase it from the Secretary of State, so you're like applying for credit, and they go look you up at the Secretary of State. If you're not there, they're not going to extend credit. They're not going to give a credit card. So that's the only reason. And the Hague, they're not right. Credit card companies or lenders of any and creditors of any kind in the U.S. are not looking up registration at the Hague
Yeah.
of a trust. But no, that's funny. No, you sign up your jurisdiction with God, the devil who is sat next to. Devil respects it. God respects it. The banks respect it. The lawyers respect it. The federal government, state, and local, all them governments respect it. So we don't need the Hague up this one.
Yeah.
It's
Uh,
funny though.
George is following up. If you build credit with your trust, you can max that credit out and then let the trust go out of existence, and nobody can touch you. You can do that again and again. The rich people do it.
Yeah, the hack is everything. Yeah.
And
Well,
this is
let
for, you want to go
me
back to that?
condense
Yep.
this. Let me condense this. What's everything in the trust, right? Your person could build up wicked credit or an LLC or both as they get a couple $100,000 credit. What if it went to eBay and bought a whole bunch of, oh, we're getting near the end, bought a whole bunch of US minted gold buffalo coins from the US
Yeah.
Mint, had them shipped to your house, and whoops, didn't pay the credit cards. Whoops! I maybe turned it all into cash, dropped it into your trust. No recourse, even if they get a judgment, because it's in a trust. It's not in your person.
Mm-hmm.
Whoops! No, that's the hack. You see, they say no, that's you. No, it's not me. Now, once you realize, oh, okay, everything's in a trust, your person, doesn't have anything. It becomes a vacuum cleaner. Let me take your money, bankers. Let me take your gold coins and turn it into a leprechaun. Let me take all your free services. Every 7 years, a credit profile gets wiped clean. Go get a couple $100,000. What do you need credit for? What? Just took your money. Thanks. See you in 8 years. You know, I've done it several times. I mean, that's what Trump does. Let's go bust up this LLC, C Corp, and then drop the assets into a trust. Move along, right? How many times has he been into bankruptcy with all these corporations? Fantastic. It's a way to bust their credit and drop the assets into a trust. Our president does it. Why don't you get wise and do it? So do I. Hey, a couple little Instagram things. Absolutely profound and fascinating. Great. You asked if you could have, your SSI, no problem. Have a trust. Yeah. Got to get in touch, right? Glad I met you those years ago. Oh, yeah, John, me too. Uh, anyway, contact the liberty8academy.org. You got any questions? You can get, we do have a free consult with Tammy. You can talk to her, get in touch. You see us on the website, liberty8academy.org. Any way that works for you, John. We're happy to help. You can do shop pay too. In other words, you can get to the end and be like, I don't have that much money. And you can do it in payments. So that's all figured out too.
Yes.
Sorry, I wanted to get to that.
The master creator is back. Can I start a nonprofit business through my trust and have it tax deductible for donators?
Yes, what people mean by nonprofit usually is 501c3 status. This already has that, and it's non-reporting. So yeah, can you give out something? Hey, that your gift was tax deductible. Yes, you can, because you have 501c3 status. Yes, you can do that, just like a church or whatever. Yes, you can do that. 100%. Yes.
And then George is saying, I'm pretty sure you can already take tax deductible donations and you can issue a receipt. I think we talked about that last week too.
You can with this trust. Thank you very much, George. That is 100% correct.
I think Alex wants to start a book club. Did anyone read Fruit from the Poisonous Tree? You know that one?
Joe,
I have not.
But you know what I'm saying? When you hear a suggestion, you gotta check it out.
I'm jumping through. George talking about his son, which is a good story. But here we got a new viewer, Joel Jackson, in the house. If you're getting Social Security and you put it into a trust, let's say you get Section 8, and they ask you if you're getting Social Security, what would you tell them?
You would say yes, because that comes through your person, and you're talking about qualifying, not you, but your corporate person for Section 8. So yes, you'd be like, my person receives this Social Security. You see what I'm saying? You have to show them what you have in that name, but the trust, you don't show them. You don't say a word about that. That's not yours. So no, you don't mention it. Only things to do with your person.
And the Social Security comes to the person. It can't come into the trust.
No, it can come directly deposited into the trust 100%. You can do that. Yes. You can drop it right into the trust, no problem. But if they ask about it, they're going to, this is how much I get is Social Security. So that's it. So, depends on the lender, but that's the answer.
Jamie's saying she's read that book, but John has the best info.
Thank you. Thank you, Jamie.
There you
That's
go.
very sweet.
How long does it take to get credit, good credit, once it's registered with the Secretary of State?
I mean, if you already have good personal credit, you can do it right after, honestly, a week or something. But really, I recommend building a credit profile, building up like the net 30 stuff and so on, making a credit profile before you go for better credit, like credit cards, because the credit limits will be like triple the limit if you build a good credit profile. I teach how to do that in the regular course that comes with the McCaig Mastery Trust, but also in the YouTube membership called Mentorship. I fill in every blank for every. You cannot do anything wrong over there. So no, it's really good. Uh,
It's
once you're
that
prepared,
time.
it is that time. Should we continue to file as a person going forward? Only if it benefits. So you don't have to. Your person doesn't have anything, so you don't have to file. And good to have you too, John Gregory. That's all I had over there. Everyone, next Thursday, 7 p.m., get Tim and I again. You
Yes.
don't want to have to pay taxes next year? Do this now. Then next year, like, who's the IRS again? I don't even know who they are. Not in my life, they're out of Tim's life. Get them out of your life.
Yes, yes. Great stuff. All right. We'll leave it right there. We'll be back next Thursday night at 7 p.m. live for your questions. If not, we're always in the classroom. So join up. And like John said, you can do the pay plan and get in there on a payment plan and on the discount to start right off. You get full access to everything. So you might as well do it. Start now. There you have it. Thank you, Jack.
Thank you, Tim.
Good night, everyone.